What's up, Fire Nation? If you're here, it's because you don't play small. Fire Nation is for the ones fueled by passion, driven by growth, and hungry to build real wealth. Not just for yourself, but for your family and future generations. This isn't just a channel. This is a movement. And if you're watching, you are already part of it. I'm Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher. Let's light it up. What's up, Fire Nation? If you're here, it's because you don't play small. Fire Nation is for the ones fueled by passion, driven by growth, and hungry to build real wealth. Not just for yourself, but for your family and future generations. This isn't just a channel. This is a movement. And if you're watching, you are already part of it. I'm Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher. Let's light it up. What's up, Fire Nation? If you don't play small and you're here to build, you're in the right place. I'm Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher. Let's light it up. Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I don't know if anybody can hear me. I think I see my I think that's a good sign that is actually working. Right. So today we have a really good show for you. We have an interview, but we're going to keep it short because our guests have a sort of an emergency. So we are going to do our best with what we have, and we're still going to make it informative for you. So she'll be here in about 5 minutes. So just stay tuned. People on the playback, I started on time as usual, but I guess it's just running a little bit late. So we have to make do with what it is that we have. Blessings to everybody on the playback. I hope you're having a great weekend. It's Sunday. It's a beautiful Sunday. A little bit chilly here in Ontario, Canada, but beautiful nonetheless. So tonight on Business Matters, we're diving into an industry that shapes communities, builds generational wealth, and for many entrepreneurs become a powerful path to financial independence: real estate. Our guest today is Kafayat Oyodele Peters, a real estate broker with Right at Home Realty. She has built her career around helping people navigate one of the most important financial decisions of their lives: buying and selling property. Through her platform at kafayatrealestate.com, she has positioned herself not just as an agent, but as a guide and someone committed to educating clients, negotiating effectively, and ensuring transactions are smooth from the start to finish. So what I'll do is I'll wait for her before I finish telling you more about her. But that's just a short bit of the introduction, right? Because I thought, you know what, should be interesting for Fire Nation to listen to, because a lot of you want to go into the business part of flipping houses, right? When I listen to you talk, right? on the various platforms, and that's a good path to get a business started. That's a really good path, right? Developing and developing and owning land and owning real estate and making profits out of it, you know? So I thought, she would be really good for you all to hear from. So I'm just waiting for her right now. She's just running a little bit behind, and we have to give her grace, Fire Nation. That's what we do. Because just being an entrepreneur, you get pulled in so many different directions. Sometimes things don't always go as planned, but you just have to what? Roll with the punches. You just have to roll with the punches, my dear. So that's what it is. Now here she is. I'm gonna add you to the stage. Kafira, I see you. I see you, my dear.
Hi,
Hi,
can you hear
Kafira.
me?
Yes, I can see. I can see. I can hear you. Good
Okay.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Miss Julia. Thank you so much for your patience.
No worries, my dear. No worries. I'm so glad to hear your voice. Put a voice to the to the texting and the, you know, pardon me. Yeah. So it's really good. It's really good to hear your voice, and thank you for your time. I know how hectic it can be. I appreciate it. Right. I appreciate your time and the little that you have to share with us today. But we're gonna make it jam packed so our listeners can learn more about you. So I started your introduction. I don't know if you heard it, but I'm going to finish it now. Or would you like me
Yeah.
to start it from the top?
No, you heard it.
No? Continue? Okay. What I find especially powerful about her story, Fire Nation, is that her journey into real estate began not just from career ambition. Mute Kafira, sorry, Kafayat, sorry. Mute, my dear, while I speak, please, because I'm hearing your background noise.
Yes, because I heard your introduction. I wanted to join in sooner rather than later, but
That's
you're
okay.
going to have my undivided attention in literally 30 seconds.
No problem.
So go
So this is
ahead.
what
I'll
no,
mute myself.
no problem, my dear. But listen. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So what I'm gonna ask you is to mute while I finish speaking. So, but
Okay,
I'm picking up your background. Thank you so much.
no problem.
Thank you. Hi, Mr. Marshall. Blessings and thanks for being here. Blessings. Right? So, Mr. Marshall, we have a great guest today, Kafayette. She's a realtor, and she's going to tell us about her journey and give us some advice on real estate because she's very interesting, a very interesting woman in the business. So, let's continue. What I find especially powerful about her story is that her journey into real estate began not just from career ambition but from a personal experience searching for her own home and realizing how complex the process could be. That experience sparked a desire to help others navigate the same journey with clarity and confidence. Since entering the industry, she has built a reputation for professionalism, strong negotiation strategies, and client first service, earning recognition as a top performing agent multiple years in a row. And you can verify this in the Toronto Guardian. I did. Tonight, we're going to go beyond listings and sales numbers. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship, discipline, market realities, negotiation, and what it truly takes to succeed in the real estate industry today. Fire Nation, this conversation is going to be valuable whether you're an aspiring real estate professional, an entrepreneur, or someone who wants to understand how wealth and opportunity are built through property. So let's dive in, mermaid style. Big up yourself. Thank you for being here. Are you ready? Let's get it in because you don't have that much time. Now, let's start. Are you ready? Kafayat
Yes,
on mute.
yes,
Ready?
I'm here. I'm here. Thank you so much for the introduction.
No worries. No worries.
Really
I can
appreciate
I can email it to you too, so you can use it in your own way.
it.
Um, your origin story. Okay.
Yeah.
Your journey into real estate actually started while searching for your own home and realizing there were hidden complexes in the process, just like I just said before. Can you tell us what that experience was like and how it influenced your decision to enter the industry?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for taking an interest in really looking deep into the background of how I got into the industry.
Mm-hmm.
So this was 2007, and back in the day, my now husband and I were still in our early stages, and he was really motivated to own a property. Sometimes in life you come across certain people that influences you to want to go a different path. At the time, obviously, I was more focused on I want to get a job. I want to, go backpacking and travel around the world. And he's like, no, my goal is I want to get a property. So we were able to come to a conclusion that, okay, fine, let's do it. But at the time, he had a specific location in mind, but obviously when it comes to planning, I'm more like, very resourceful. So I was like, okay, I'll get in touch with a real estate agent and, get us someone to help us achieve this goal, because the way I work is just tell me your goal, and I am good at bringing people from all walks of life together to kind of achieve that goal. And I feel like the universe kind of work in that way as well. You're like,
Yes.
this is my goal in life, and the next thing you know, you go to an event, you bump into someone that is an expert in that field, and you're like connecting the dot. Wait, you can help me with this, right? So, anyway, to cut the long story short, we hired a real estate agent. We told them what we wanted, and the first real estate agent didn't quite work out because as a client, you want what you want, but there are more of a complex moving parts behind buying a house. And going to an expert, that's their job to educate you that,
Right.
yeah, you want to buy your first home. You guys are young, so this is what I would advise you to do. That kind of thing. Mind you, I was in my 20s, and you're still learning a lot about adulthood, and now you want to jump in head first into what majority of the age group are, like your parents buying properties. So definitely it wasn't your age, it was in our age group, but my husband was really determined. My husband now was really determined that no, we can do it. What is required? We can make it happen. So we were shown some property, and now the neighborhood wasn't quite it.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't work out, and then I had another realtor introduce, like a family member introduced another realtor to us, um, and she got the concept. She saw us as young and upcoming, so she
Mm-hmm.
picked the perfect location, which was back in Vaughan, in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And she showed us we loved the neighborhood. The houses there were newer. Unlike the previous realtor showed us Brampton, the houses were pretty run down. And as a young couple new to real estate, I think giving us that type of a property would be the worst thing ever, because we would need to fix so many things, and we're still just learning how real estate works. So that right there did not show more of a personalized experience for us, because as the expert, you should kind of guide your client based on where they're at, how experienced they are, and match them. We're like in the matchmaking industry. We want to match you with the right property, even if you're not aware, or even if you have a specific thing you're looking for in a property, your realtor should advise you if it's good or if it's not. So now with the new real estate agent, she showed us the property and all. However, we love the house. It was just 3 years old, and obviously moving in, we had to just turnkey move in. Not much needed to be done. However, there are different moving parts to owning a home. There is the maintenance. There is you have to pay for utility, and this is me just moving out of my mom's home for the first time. So I wasn't paying all of these bills, right?
Right.
To be aware that, oh, listen, it's not just paying the bank for the mortgage. There's a house insurance you need. There's you have to pay for the hydro for this. So we got the keys. She handled the whole back end, which was nice. It's like a white glove service. But without the education part to let us know, okay, listen, when you give us the key, what do we do? So we moved into the house, and then we started receiving different bills in our name, and we're like, what? What is this for? What is that for? And all that.
You
So
have to learn by experience.
yes, and they were like, "What? Okay, I need another job." Like, I mean, I think at that point too, we should have been sat down and discussed about affordability. Like, listen, this is what is expected. This is what your bills will look like. So I was like, okay.
Mhm.
So, nothing grows in comfort zone. Obviously, I have to sharpen my skills and like look for other ways to kind of have a better income, same as my husband. It makes you grow. It
Yes.
kind of like elevates you into that next stage. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, if we didn't have that keenness to want to grow, then we could have just lost everything.
Exactly. And that's the thing, and that's the thing, I really love this conversation, and I know my Fire Nation is going to appreciate this conversation too. Big up, Gaza Ricardo. Good evening, my dear. Good evening, Garnet Reed. Right?
Yes.
Because it matters. Who you partner with matters a lot,
Yes.
especially if you're an entrepreneur. Who you partner with matters a lot, because the person is either going to help you build, or they're going to destroy what it is that they're going to. It's there's no neutral. You
They
see what
just
I'm saying? There's no
they just look out for their own pocket and no personal or people
right,
person skills.
right. So
And yeah, so getting in that, I was like, okay, wait a minute. This isn't good. Now, right off the bat, what,
yeah,
2007, still younger, like, okay, that was it. And then came motherhood, because
yeah,
obviously now we're committed. We bought a
yeah,
house together. We
yeah,
got married. We started a family. And I mean, I'll tell you something though.
yeah.
Take care of the house before the family kicks in, because that's a whole ball.
It's a
That's a
whole
whole
different,
different
it's a
ball
whole different
game.
thing. It's a whole different ball game. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I went from just having my laundry done. I didn't even know how to do like load the washer and dryer. I just pack everything laundromat and like sorry, what do you call it? I drop it off and then I pick it up. It's all clean. But come kids, yeah, diaper,
mhm,
formula, food, and all that, and you realize that you become second,
yeah.
and I
That's
mean
right.
third even.
That's right.
So
That's right.
right, and then I started looking. I'm like, listen. I started working. I'm like, wait, my paycheck is paying for somebody else to look after my kid. Like,
Yeah,
and I have to deal with such a toxic environment because you know in the workplace sometimes you get lucky to but sometimes you get so unlucky, especially when there's a lot of you have to work with as a team, and everyone has whatever they're going through, and or for some reason they just don't like your audacity, like, and I'm that kind of person where I am jovial, I am open minded, I don't know how to pretend, I don't know how to lie to you about. Like, I feel like sometimes when I show properties to my client, I'm not the one paying for it, and I'm like, I don't like this house. you know, and I'm like, hey, I've had some coaching sessions. They're like, just be quiet, let your client decide. I'm like, but isn't it our job to protect them
yeah,
for, that
yeah,
I just can't help it. I'm like, I pointed out right there,
yeah. One.
and I have
Mhm.
yeah, I have instances where you know, my clients ended up buying a property, but talking back, just reminiscing in terms of their experience of working with me, they made comments like, oh, they remember one time we showed them a house and I was telling them about a power line.
Mm,
How I'm not sure this is a good fit because of the power line. That,
mm.
to be honest, they didn't even notice it. And if I'd not mentioned it, they would have went with
Yeah,
that
but
house.
that's a good realtor because my I have the same relationship with mine, right?
Yeah,
And like he's so good. Like I recommend him all the time because like he would actually say like he will actually check like certain the steps going down. You see what I'm saying? Going down to the basement, check everything. Say, this is not good. This right here is not good. This here I don't like. And I have like certain rules. Like I say, I never want to be too close to a graveyard or to a restaurant. Listen, that's just me. You see what I mean? I just feel like if you live too close to a restaurant, it's just I don't want that. Anyhow, that's just one of the things, right? Not just live, but get property near one of those places. But
or a train station. I mean,
or a train station, right?
yes,
That's those are givens. But I mean, so certain things like that. But he's that. But if even if I miss certain things, he would say, okay, this is this, but it has this, but it doesn't have that, and I don't really like it because I saw certain things in the news the other day, or I feel like the property value for this place is going down. It used to be so high the past 5 years. So certain things like that he would say. So I know he's looking out for me. So guess what? He's the only one I would ever go to because it's a personal business is personal, So when people always say, "Oh, don't take it personally," it's business. Listen, business don't. Not every saying we should always believe, right? Because some of it is just from people who teach and don't do, right? Like
yeah.
business is very much personal, right? And if you
Hmm.
have certain thing in your gut, yeah, you guide your client. If you listen to why they like it, but you tell them you can see why it is that it's how you do it. So you just tell them that yeah, I can see how you would like it, but here are what I see as drawbacks. And then when you tell them the drawbacks, they'll be like, yeah, I would have that drawback too, but I didn't notice it. You just pointed it out to me, so thank you. You see what I'm saying? Because he did that for me a couple times.
Yeah,
So
exactly right.
the trust is great. So I think you're on the right path. I think you're doing the right thing. You know what I mean? I think you're doing the honorable thing, and I think you should continue to put people first because that's how the repeated business, and not only that, but the word of mouth and like your name being good in the quote unquote real estate streets like that. That's a really great thing. So I think you're doing a great job.
Exactly, and it just comes naturally because if I can't see myself living in the house, then there are instances. Let's
Yeah.
say you couldn't qualify, but even with that, I will help you map out a plan. Okay, we could start with this house, and this
Yeah.
was the plan in 2 years, in 3 years. And you're right. I got those clients from a referral from another client I've helped,
Mhm.
and now this specific client, they will go to war for me. Like they invite me to, I've been made a godmother to their
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any event, they invite me and they're telling everyone, this is our realtor, the baddest realtor in the and I feel so shy. I'm like, we're here to enjoy. Don't let it be about business. I just signed out my card. If you have any questions, let's just talk behind the scenes. This is their day. We're here to celebrate,
Yeah.
not to discuss business. So yeah, it does pay off.
Yeah.
But so fast forward, I realized, what, working hard, it's almost like I'm paying for daycare and all that, and then we're paying mortgage and all that. So we started, what can I do where I can still support my family and still be able to bring in some income, support, be present and support.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, I thought, listen, our, getting in at such a young age and
Yeah.
also understanding that it's not that hard. So at the time I was working at CIBC. So, and I remember that just working as a CSR, the cashier, not like in the private office in the back, just from my conversation with a customer, I've been able to give some advice where um, they took it. The ones that listened, I remember one guy having like a huge saving in his account because I get the snap and I'm like, listen, why do you have this money just sitting in your savings? Have you thought about putting it towards a house?
Oh,
You know,
one
ideally,
wait one
I
second.
should.
Oh, yeah, one second. Let me stop you for a second there.
Mhm.
Greetings, Miss T. Good afternoon. Good to see you, TG Media. Good to see you, King One Drop. Thank you for passing through. And yes, Canada seems tranquil. It's good for employment. I have to do that and actually interact with my audience. I can't
Yes,
listen to the
that's
conversation.
good.
And also, too, I know that we are on a flow, but I do have to get to certain questions because you're the one you are on a time constraint.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah. So,
No worries. But
no,
I got the license with two kids and got into it, and since then all I do is educate, 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 you know.
understood.
As you can see in all my social media platform, it's not more I show the closings, the wins, but I want you to be informed. And I know that helped a lot of people. I've had people learn from that, still use a different realtor, but it allowed them to question them the right way and to have that understanding of what to expect from your realtor. So, that experience, and that's what really set me apart. So if I have anyone that wants to work with me, I really take the time to let them understand what they are signing. And because of that, the next person they refer, they've pretty much done the job for me. They've explained, oh, listen, this is the process. So they come to me one ready to go. I don't have to try and sell myself, but I still do because you know what? Maybe there is some information they've missed. So I have a whole system and a whole process from the minute you reach out to me, we set up a consultation call. I get to understand your needs and how to better, support you. So yeah,
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. And people can reach out to you and they will find out more.
yes.
So let's go into the industry misconceptions because these are things that my audience would actually be interested in learning more of as well. Many people believe real estate agents simply show homes and collect commissions. What is the part of this business that most people never see behind the scenes?
Okay. There's a lot.
Mhm,
Let's start with keeping our license intact.
mhm,
We're
mhm,
not just it's not I have gone through the real estate course over 10 years now. I got my license, and doesn't mean that's the end of it. Every year we need to renew our license, and that comes with there are certain courses we need to
mhm,
go through each year just to refresh our understanding of what's changed in terms of policies and all that. And then we do hold ourselves to a higher standard. Now, mind you, maybe not all realtors do that, but
mhm,
for me, I take pride in value and that I provide to my client, and always wanting to make sure that it's top-notch experience, stress-free.
mhm,
Now, there are unforeseen events that can make the process a little bit challenging, but if you prep before going in, you can mitigate those risks.
mhm,
So having that knowledge and having the right resources. So
mhm,
let's say you need like a help with the finances, with financing the mortgage for the property, having those colleagues that are has the same value as you do, and being
mhm,
able to refer you to them takes years of building relationship and like um cutting out the ones that are not as good and the one that are really
mhm,
does what they do best. Now there is a lot of moving parts from start to finish.
mhm.
It's not just about the commission,
Right.
and we are doing all of these things with our own expense. Like it's on us. Like I have to. Sometimes it takes 5 different trips to show you properties. I have,
Right.
you have to pay for the car, the
Yeah.
insurance. You have to fill up gas if you have a car that uses gas, which I do. Maybe I would have to change to electric because the gas price these days is crazy. So that comes with it now. Just to be able to have a brokerage represent me in transaction because um, I'm a representative, but I still have to work under a brokerage. There is a fee, a desk fee. Either you make a sale or not. So
Mhm.
there's that ongoing cost behind the scene that sometimes it's piled up.
Yeah.
If you have a good business run, yes, it might look like there's five closing in a day, but what if there isn't? But you still have to run that engine. It's like every other business. If you have a grocery store, you filled it up, and there's no customer this year, you still have to replenish your store just in case that customer comes and they need an item. Now, what if you don't get a customer and then the whole item expires? You still need to count your loss and then still continue. So that's the other aspect that the commission really almost it's almost like servicing your back end. Now, you as a representative, like your real estate agent, either representing you as a seller, as a buyer, the knowledge they have to in order to help you negotiate the best deal on your property, it's far beyond well, listen, let's just offer this. If you're in a negotiation and you're trying to negotiate a better deal, you have to know how to have that personal skills because you can't just take everything personal. Now, I've had deals fall apart for $5,000. Like your job is to educate whichever way you're standing, to educate your client. If they are about to walk away because of $5,000, break it down. If you're on the buying side, this is only going to add what, 30 something cents to your mortgage amount. Is it worth losing this deal for? Because you're almost like like I said, matchmaker, you're a therapist. Like there's a lot that comes on board. You're working with a couple and husband and wife can't see eye to eye. The wife likes this house, the husband likes this house, and your job is to bring the both together and let them agree on one because they can only buy one property. So there's a lot of interpersonal skills that goes with it, and not all agents have that, unfortunately. And you might not need that for a client as well, but it's a lot, and you take it home. If your client is having a bad day or they're having a challenge in closing on a deal, if you're someone like me that is an empath, it takes away from me myself because their problem is almost it's a reflection because I feel I don't it's one of the biggest decisions of their life I wanted to go through. I want to do whatever it takes to help them out, and until they get the key, we even after they get the keys,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
after they get the keys, I have clients. My first ever client 10 years ago calls me his daughter. That didn't happen from the deal I had with him. It happened from the relationship I built with him. On his
Exactly.
birthday, I show up with a cake.
Yeah.
Someday, some year, it would just be a handwritten card. So it goes beyond. They having a new addition to their family, maybe grandbaby, or it's a young couple that just had a baby. I show up. It's
Right.
ongoing. It's
That's what we say.
continuing to pay forward.
It's relationships.
Exactly.
That's
So
what it is.
it's beyond the commission. The commission is just like everyone else. You go to your job for 2 weeks, you get paid every 2 weeks. Your employer isn't saying, listen, I feel like I'm entitled to this. You've done the service, you've done the job, and that's what it is. But I understand that for those agents that maybe just see it as a one-time transaction, unfortunately I don't, and I'm able to um defend my value, and because of that, I think by the time you move into your home, you won't have any question thinking, oh, they don't deserve that commission, because it comes with
It comes
so
with,
much value
yeah.
that at the end of the day, I end up getting a gift from my client. Like,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a lot. And I have a whole
Of-
series
You guys save a
about
lot.
this.
You guys
Mhm.
save a lot of headache, to be honest, right?
Yes.
And also to education in the process. So it's
It
good.
costs. Yeah,
For the
it's a lot you put
first
in.
time, the first time for a lot of people are lost for the first time. So having a good realtor is like having a good mechanic, having a good doctor, having a good lawyer, having a good police.
Exactly. And then we all have access to solution. If you find yourself we have an hurdle we need to overcome,
Yeah,
having that experience to overcome it,
yeah,
that experienced realtor, is all it takes to
Yeah.
really, yeah, to save the deal.
See,
And I'm always looking for how I can help with new first time home buyer, either through down payment assistance. Having access to those kind of programs is
mm,
really key. And you want a realtor that is invested. I know what's current in the market. It's not like I just relax and I wait for a call. I'm active, in the industry, updated on what's happening in the region. When is the next interest rates? Like, are we expecting it to go up? It allows me to better educate. Listen, we should close because you know what? There might be a lower interest rate. So maybe we should push the closing. That way you can get into the better rates. Those are the things that comes in. And while other people are playing Candy Crush, no offense, I'm here just digesting more information to better help my clients. So I think to each his own, but we deserve it for the realtors that do put in that work. And I
mm.
feel like it's not even enough. But I've been able to know how to defend my value, that I don't negotiate my fees, because you know what? It comes with the
But you know what though? Listen. You know what? You never, ever, 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 even ever think about ever negotiating your value. If they don't see your value, they're not for you.
Yes, and
These
I'm not for
you
everyone.
only
That's
want a
why,
certain type of client. You understand? You want a certain
yes,
because there are some nightmare people, and nightmare people make nightmare clients. So that's why I always tell my friends who are in business too. I say, listen, don't take it personally, eh? Like some of these people are nightmare people. So they're gonna
yeah,
be nightmare clients. They're also nightmare sisters and nightmare brothers. You understand what I mean? Like
yes.
they're actually not, so don't take it personally. It's not you.
Oh
You
no, I don't, and that's why one of the reasons we have those discovery call is
yeah,
to understand if we vibe together. I
right.
use that in my
Yeah,
conversation. I'm like, this call is for you.
yeah,
Listen, do you like what you're hearing about me, or
yeah.
you don't like? We don't have to work together. And I have unfortunately sometimes turned down certain clients because
It's not worth
they
the stress.
it's not worth it, because I come off really very professional.
Right.
I ask questions. I want to get to know you.
Yeah.
And sometimes clients are like, "Isn't that why do you need to know all this now? What
Yeah, yeah.
business do you
So
need?"
you're not
And I'm
ready for
like,
a realtor. And sometimes too you have to
yeah,
educate them on what it is like to actually work with it. Because let me tell you, before I had this business here.
hmm,
Good afternoon, Imhotep. Good afternoon, Imhotep. Good to see you. Um, and thank you for the super chat. So before I had this business here, I was doing copywriting and advertising, right? For Blue.
nice,
Before I had this company, I had the copywriting advertising.
nice.
And what I realized was, hold on. Sorry, what were you saying before? I
The
just
the 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 nemesis client, the client that sends you to hell and back.
right. No, what I realize is some clients, they're just no, I totally forgot what I was saying. Let's just continue the conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's okay.
come back up.
Yeah,
They'll come back
yeah.
up. Go
So
ahead.
just let me know what the next question is.
Yeah, the
But pretty
next
much,
question
yeah,
is
we're not just and then even writing and understanding the contract. We understand what you're
oh, I
signing. We
remember now.
put
I
it.
remember now. I remember now.
Yeah.
Wait, before
Okay.
before I lose it. So, right. Sometimes these people wanted to work with copywriters and they did not know how. They never
Mhm,
hired a copywriter before. They never hired a marketer before. Right.
mhm,
So you actually had to explain to them what the process is, and that's something that I had to learn. I learned in a nightmarish way, and I realized a lot of even bigger companies don't do that. You need to set their expectation and say, okay, this is what you can expect before we begin,
mhm,
during the process, after the process, the wrap up, right? These are the
mhm,
expectations, and you have to lay it out for them so that we can have an understanding of how the process is going to work, right?
mhm.
And how many rewrites you get, etc. Right?
Yes.
No, no, and I was right to because I saw the holes, and I was right to leave that, to leave it as an industry per se, and just individually just write for people when I have different projects, right?
Mhm,
And to what the one that I'm in now, because I could see that, you know what, this technology is going to take this over eventually. And Lo and behold, about what, a bit, what, 15 to 18 years later, now, a lot of the copywriter and the marketing jobs are gone. Only the very, very senior ones really exist anymore because of AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are facts. These are facts. So, um, anyway, the next one is you have been recognized with excellence, right? Excellence awards multiple years in a row as a top agent. What habits or strategies helped you reach that level of consistency?
Yeah, that's a good one. I think really, I always say this, for me, it's the quality of my client, not quantity. And I tell people, I'm like, listen, there are different types of agent there. They're the ones where it's a one-stop shop, and everyone's priority is different. For me, I pride myself on building relationship and having a good reputation within our community. It's a small community, that we have, and if you don't have a good reputation, you can, you know, it, we we don't support each other enough to
Right,
not have a bad reputation, because it's just now I'm starting to really get more of a business outside our community. But if I can't rely on business within my community, then the business is shot,
right,
really.
exactly right,
So exactly. So it's a quality for me. And what
right.
that means is I have one client that I give a quality service to. They are an extension to seven other businesses for me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's why I try not to over chew. Like if it's
Yeah,
something I can't give the best of my service to,
right,
then I'd rather not get in. Like I don't want to be seen as I'm busy,
right. And you don't want to
and
sacrifice the
and
quality.
then I don't pick your calls, and when you're talking to me, I'm always on the call. That illusion,
Yeah,
that saying fake it till you make it. No,
yeah.
I drew, what you see is what you get. What I say is, I try not to overpromise
Mm-hmm.
and then under deliver,
Exactly.
and it's worked well for me. There's a listing I have right now. I got that listing. This isn't someone from our community. It's someone outside of our community entirely, and I didn't even know that. I had a competition. He was interviewing someone else. And I just went in, did my own thing. He told me, you know what? He didn't like the number. I said, listen, you want this for your house? I'm sorry. This is a comparable. I'd rather not put my sign on your lawn, spend all the expenses, which is, out of pocket, with the hope it would sell. And if it doesn't sell, it's a loss. I have to count it as a loss. So I rather not list it in an unrealistic price point. So I gave him my honest opinion. I left. I gave him some resources in case you don't want to sell. These are the things you can do, which does not even require me to get the job. It means, you could do this and this and that, but this is how I can help you. And I left. And then a few days later, I got the call. It was a referral, by the way. And I got a call that, oh, for some reason, he decided he wanted to work with you. I'm
Yeah,
like, what do you mean? Like, oh, because he interviewed somebody else. I'm like, really? He did? And yeah, and I guess it could just be that my honesty, because here's the thing, and I tell people, first time home buyer are 90% of my clients. Like because I just, I get to educate them. But I tell people, I'm like, listen, first time home buyers are also the easiest. All I had to do was sign there, sign there. They just look at you like you're God, like, oh, you know it all. Just tell us what to do, which is what happened to us too, right? But no, I make you understand the process. I can easily just tell you, sign this bad deal and you deal with it when you move in. I've made my commission on to the next victim. But no, I make sure I treat you right. And once you move in, it's a matter of open, you're going to have your friends and family come and do like a housewarming, and they'll be like, oh, wow, beautiful house, who helped you? And most of the time they'll share my contact with 10 people, maybe two will call, because people get excited when they see you doing great, but then the minute that kind of fades off, they go back to their regular life, and all of a sudden that motivation to want to buy a house kind of fades. But few people are really motivated. They're like, oh my goodness, I want to achieve this. And those are the ones that do make the call. So for me, it's quality service, and that's how repetition, the business comes back. So, and that's how it's been. I haven't done online lead gen to get business. And it's been a really tough market, but so far so good. That good foundation has allowed me to be able to stay competitive. So it's referral, and obviously putting myself in rooms like this interview we're doing is, putting my time and effort to making sure that things get done to put me in the right rooms, because I know Miss Julia, we've been trying to make this happen for how
Yeah,
long now? But
I
we didn't,
know.
we didn't give up, right? I didn't give up, you didn't give up, and that's what it takes,
I can give you, but you know what? Listen, real, real, no real. I can give you grace because I know I have needed it. My God, have I needed it? My God, have I wanted to be in spaces where people have expected me to be in spaces, but I couldn't be because of the fact of just priority on the totem pole for what I need to make my life work. I'm sorry, but you still tell people that you can't make it, but you still feel bad because you understand what I mean.
Yes,
You
I
want,
do,
yeah,
because
you
the
want
work is the moving part. My
you're
client needed
right.
to see me today at 1, and I'm like, you can't tell, you have to kind of see the prioritize. This is active client, and I
Yeah,
still wanted to make it work. We've
yeah,
pushed it so many times, but,
yeah.
and I've seen that. I've seen events where I didn't have the motivation to go, but I go anyway,
Yes,
and
it's
from
still.
there, things comes out. So I've
But
learned to put
what I
that
mean is when
into.
you can't be two places at once. That's what I
Hmm.
mean.
Yes.
Sometimes there's sometimes when it comes down to it, not even sometimes. When it comes down to it, there's always a sacrifice. Always a sacrifice. So
Yes.
that's how I look at it now. Like I don't complain. I never complain because I don't think complaining is good energy. I think that's bad things too. But I I just see it as just part of it. So I just expect it. So when it happens, I don't look forward to it. You know what I mean? I'm pretty lucky, more lucky than a lot of people. And people don't like the word luck. And I don't mean luck. I mean, I don't know. I attract good things and good people usually. And bad people usually disappear. Or people who have ill intentions usually
Hmm.
disappear out of my life. It's just I think it's a spiritual thing. I don't know. Right? But
No, yeah, I'm very spiritual like that
it's
too, because
that
it's your mindset, it's your aura,
exactly. It's everything. It's everything.
it's everything.
And it's like knowing that I'm trust if I know that I'm divinely guided, I know I can trust my gut, right?
Exactly.
And I
Yes.
understand, and what I love about it is I know that if I made a mistake, it was my mistake to make. It wasn't because of the fact that I did anything that I thought I was doing wrong or I knew I was doing wrong. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I can
Yes.
actually trust myself. And what I realize is that it's a gift because as you get through this life and you meet different types of people, no matter the
Hmm.
tax bracket, you realize how many people actually live a life where they don't even trust themselves
Hmm.
because
Wow.
they never keep their word to themselves ever.
Wow.
And it's like
Wow.
that is a if you live that way with yourself, and you meet these people, and that's why I stopped taking a lot of bad people personally.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like really, because I realized that I said to myself, well, Julia, how you expect this person to have a good relationship with you? This person clearly don't have a good relationship with themselves.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? So certain things like that keep me strong and keep me resilient. And people say, Julia, oh, you don't feel, oh, you're so cool. You just move, it's not a matter of cold. Of course, I feel something. I allow myself to feel what I need to feel, but I move on with grace because I say, you know what? I don't need to do anything to you because your life is clearly punishment because of the standards that you have. Your standards make your life. These are facts. So
Yeah.
sometimes you just have to just get out of the way and let people be their own demise. You see what I'm saying? And just
Yeah.
allow things to happen and just move on clearly with your own way. These are
Yeah.
facts. And you conserve energy that way because you're gonna need your energy, like you said, to do what you need to do.
Exactly.
So
And the word says, guard your heart, because everything
yeah,
flows
facts,
from
big
it.
facts, big facts. I'm gonna ask you one last question. Let me check with you first. How are you for time? Because I know you have to go.
I
That's why
I think I'm pretty.
you're
I'm still
okay.
good for time. Yes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask you another question. This is another loaded
It's
one.
just it's Sunday. I've got three boys,
When you
and
have your family, oh God, girl, I
oh
know.
yeah, but
I,
Coming home, I haven't had a knock on the door. I'm at the home office now, so I'm
right.
good. I'm good.
And you're
Yes.
good. You're good. Okay, good. Once you're good, I'm good. We're great.
Uh,
Let's go. Okay. So,
yes.
advice for new agents because some of our Fire Nation they're gonna become new agents. That's what they want to do.
Yes. Yes.
Someone watching this interview who is considering getting their real estate license, what would be the first steps they should take to build momentum?
Okay. So first step is they need to check themselves, like you said.
Yeah.
This business, you can't be broken. Like it's gonna shake you to the core. You need to really go in. Don't get sold. Oh, I want to drive Mercedes. I want to buy expensive. Like there is a misconception out there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't It takes time to build, and even when you build it, it's like anything. You can be high up there, and one bad mistake and you can be really back at the bottom. So it takes a lot, and if it's not for the lazy, it's not for the faint of heart. There are some deals that would want to send you back, and like it's and you're gonna learn because you're new. So it's gonna take you some time to find out who I can say a little bit bad word on live, right? The bullshitters. Sorry, excuse my language, but it takes you time to actually filter those out because you're going in. You don't know who is really just messing with you for the sake of just running your business because you need to have resources to provide your client. Most of the clients that you come across, they haven't had to deal with a lawyer before. So if you tell them, okay, you're going to need a closing attorney, they're like, oh, do you have anyone? Oh, I have one. Obviously you tell them to go to the bank to get pre-approved and all that. But the thing is, working with the broker is also easier because they can shop multiple banks. So and you have to learn all this. And if you go through your first client and they had a headache because you have to practice with them and they have access to 10 more people to refer to you, you've just closed that referral channel. So another thing is once you've been able to know that you have a thick skin, then by all means, yes, go for it. I believe right now you have to go through Umber College to
Mm-hmm.
get the education you need to get licensed. And soon as you get licensed, I didn't get to join a team because I just yeah, I think it might be good for some, but it's just I'm not wired that way because I have my own idea on how I want to run things, and I don't like to butt head. If with people, like if I'm in a space where I feel like too much drama, I remove myself. So maybe that's another reason, but it can be beneficial, to have somebody that has done it show you the ropes if you're someone like that where you're able to you have no clue. For me, I'm very tech savvy. I have a diploma in technology, so in computer technology. So I everything is just kind of I like things um being organized and all that stuff. So over time, 5 years in, I'm like I can't work under anyone. Like I can't work under a team now because you're in. But if I knew better, yeah, maybe my first year I would have you know try to work under someone that is well experienced to show me and kind of like mentor me to in order to grow. But yeah, I would say yeah, definitely find out what you're made of because real estate is can be very very challenging. And once you know that you have what it takes and you care about people because that's what will take you far. And even though you care about people, you still have the bad ones that just think you didn't do enough. Even though I had a client where I became a pastor, I became a preacher because this client has everything about the whole process is all about negativity, like, what if this deal doesn't go through? Everything was just negative. And I'm like, like let's wait till that and then we'll cross the bridge. And why wouldn't it go through? Why not think the positive?
Right, right.
You know,
Exactly. right, exactly right, 100%, 100%.
Right.
And you know what? You know what? There is a certain. See, I love that's why I love interviewing what I call our kind, like or like people who are entrepreneurs or people who are business owners are wanting to be because we have certain characteristics, and I think it's certain things that we had to develop, regardless of race, regardless of culture, regardless of where they come up in the world. I'm telling you, we have certain common traits, certain common characteristics, and certain common habits that we live by because we have had to in order to continue the journey, right? Resilience is one of them, and what contributes to resilience as well, right? So we have very little patience for a lot of things that might waste our energy in stupid ways, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So let me ask you this. What are the biggest mistakes buyers make when entering the housing market today? Now, listen, whenever you're ready, let me know. No, no, because I want to keep mindful of your time. I really
No, no,
appreciate
no, no. Don't worry. Yeah, we'll go through it.
we have to look out for each other. We have to look out for each other, right?
Yes, yes,
So whenever you're ready, don't feel bad. So
yes.
anyhow, listen again. What
Mhm.
are the biggest mistakes buyers make when entering the housing market today?
It's pretty. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So you are a buyer. You want to buy a house. What do you do first? You go online. You're searching. You're like, you find this beautiful home, but you have to understand, can I afford that house? That's it. Don't go in at first like pick the beautiful house and forget and ignore the price tag.
Mm-hmm.
That gets you in deep water. And that is what some agents work with. They love big pocket. They're not even asking you questions. Hey, what's your status? You
Mm-hmm.
know, what if your status you can't even buy? Or they tell you everything you want to hear. So one thing I would say is get pre-approved or pre-qualified. Don't get pre-approved yet, but have an understanding that my either I've spoken to a mortgage broker
Mm-hmm.
or I've just reached out to my bank. Hey, listen, you get my paycheck every month. Do you think I can afford a house? Yes, you can, but follow up with the question: How much?
Mm-hmm.
How much can I afford? Because I can show you a house you will fall in love with, except you might not be able to qualify. I mean, I'll show you a $2.5 million home. Who wouldn't want that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to know how much you qualify for before you make a commitment, because what happens is when you make a commitment to buy that house, there is nothing is for free. There has to be a compensation. Hey, listen, I want to buy this house. Here is $10,000. Hold
Mm-hmm.
it, but hold it towards that house while I go get the rest of the money. Now, if it's a property that you can't get a mortgage for, it's not you won't get that $10,000 back if you don't have the right protection. So you need to know how much you can afford. And even when you do, there's still extra precautions you have to take. So first thing, what I would say is contact a real estate agent. We have all the resources,
Mm-hmm.
but make sure you have that knowledge to know that when I call my real estate agent, are they asking me the right questions? And the first question should be, have you been pre-approved? How much are you qualified for? Something along that line.
Mm-hmm.
They may also first ask you, what's your budget? What's your price range? But it has to be okay. That price range, did you just come up with it or have you been pre-approved for it? So,
Right.
yeah, right. You can go online, do your research, like on my website, kafayarealestate.com.
Yeah.
You're able to use
Chat.
a mortgage.
Put it in the chat, Kafaya. But before you do that, let me big up some people. Big up Lion King Soul. Thank you for being here. Big up again, Dean Marshall, for always talking to us. And big up Imhotep. Blessings for being. Big up Miss Jacobs, my sister. Blessings, Miss Jacobs. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Good to see you. Um,
Yeah.
so all right. So let me ask you this question now. Is owning property still the best path to building wealth? Why or why not? And what is your advice? That is your final closing question
Okay.
before we let you go. So
Okay.
go deep, mermaid style.
Yes. Yes, I will. I just want to round up that other thing to complete the answer for mistakes buyers should watch out for, which is someone mentioned that in the comment, the closing cost. So those are the two things that they need to know. How much would you need for down payment? Because now, if the bank says they can approve you 500,000, how much of your money do they need? So pretty much, just get your numbers right. Get it on a fact, not verbal, not because I told somebody I make this much money. You want to provide some documents. Now you can tell them to hold off on pulling your credit. Because when they pull your credit, then it alerts the other bank that you're shopping for a mortgage. So you could pull your own credit, it doesn't affect you. But like I said, hey, I'm a realtor. Give me a call and I can handle the nine other steps for you. Now, to answer your question, yes, real estate is still the best way to build wealth. I mean, many might not agree with Donald Trump in many of the things he says, but when it comes to building wealth, he said real estate, and that is something we agree on. Because now, mind you, it can build you and it can break you, and that's where working with the right team and making educated decision and informed decision comes in, because right now this is the market to build it. 3 years ago, that was a market to lose it all. So understanding and having someone that really cares about helping you build, because you have to have your team, same lawyer, same realtor, you can't go from fry pan to fire. Like you have to have someone that knows your history. Because for me, I've been able to bring clients from a townhome all the way from that townhome to a detached double car garage. And sometimes it's a condo, so selling that condo to having multiple properties,
Yeah.
but that only comes from someone you build history with, and you enjoy the first time you are able to see that they watched out for you. So yes, it's still the one of the biggest paths to building wealth, because you know what, I mean, it's something where you buy the wealth and you get to enjoy it. I mean, you buy a car, the minute you drive it off of the lot, the it's already lost value. Like,
Mm,
you buy a brand new car, drive it off their lot. It's already devalued. If you tell them 2 days later, I want to bring this car back, they're not offering you the same amount to
mhm.
get, they will offer you less. But when it comes to properties, you buy it now and you bring it back or sell it in the future, you're selling it for more money. And not to talk of, you've been financing it. So each time you're paying it, that money, a portion of it is coming back to you. You
Yeah.
finance a car, yes, you pay it off and you don't owe any money, but when you need to sell that car, it's worth a fraction, not even 1 year's payment of what you've paid on it.
Yeah.
So yes, I agree. That is 100%. I'm backing that up, real estate, but it has to be done right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, it has to be done right, and they have to know what the hidden work is. Like I was telling people, I was telling them on the live, the hidden parts of jobs. There's hidden work that a lot of people don't know about that actually keeps a job going.
yes.
Like, and I was explaining to them on that live, but I made it members only because I was just having lunch.
Okay.
The doorman's fallacy, right? You know, the doorman's fallacy. That story about, and I'm gonna let you go after this. The story about the doorman where this hotel was starting to make a lot of profits, but they got greedy, so they started to think who they can cut from their staff. So they look through and they say, well, the doorman, all he does is open the door. All
Mm,
he does is open the door. So let's cut him. He's been here for over 25 years. What? And he's old and we pay him above minimum wage. Why are we keeping him? So let's cut him.
mhm,
So they cut him, thinking that he just opens the door. Their business started to go down. And when they investigated why the business started to go down, is because the customer service, everybody started to complain that, listen, not only did they get rid of a doorman, he was the greeter. He was the one who made them feel comfortable. He was
mhm,
the one who knew the name of every patron because he's been there for over 25 years. He was the one who would stand out there with an umbrella and he'll
Mm,
taxes for people to make sure
mm,
that the taxes came. So
mm,
he was that customer service. He was the one who would make sure that the valet brought their car on time because he would know when they were coming down because they would talk to him, and he would bring the car down so they don't have to wait. So he was all of that. He was not just the doorman. So in every job too, when you think about it, when you talk to people, when you really get to like, that's why I love talking to entrepreneurs. I love talking to people, period. But especially different entrepreneurs because I like to hear the hidden parts of what actually makes the wheel turn because what people see is the forward facing thing, right? They
mm-hmm.
don't see the things that actually go into making the forward facing things appear, like what you're saying, like even getting the car to make sure that it has gas because you have to pick up the client and take them to that job. And you understand what I'm saying, like the little things like that, the hidden things, the hidden costs, the hidden energies. That is what I wanted to share with the audience so that they can know from somebody who does, you know what I mean, before they actually try to do, so they can do it successfully. So, anything that you want to add, my dear, or
Yeah, I think pretty much you touch on the main points, you know. Right now, I'm not sure if we have few of the viewers are Niagara residents because I have a program running right now to help people into their first home,
Mhm.
and this program helps with the down payment up to 10%. So
Nice,
if anyone is interested, I feel like I brought the awareness of this program to a lot of people in the region.
nice,
And one thing I'm not happy to see is our community isn't really taking advantage of it. I feel like I brought the exposure, but then other communities are taking advantage of it while my community are more
yeah,
on the sit back and relax. And I feel like it's based on the first come first serve. So if anyone is interested in getting into the real estate market and their status is Canadian PR, or even a decision has been made in terms of status with
hmm,
no removal order, they can qualify for this program. So they can get in touch with me and we can try to see if we can access the loan
yeah,
on their behalf so they can get into the market. This is the time, you know. I've been in the real estate since what 2007. I've been aware of the shift, the trends,
yeah,
and I'll tell you, this is the time. It's when the economy is suffering. That's when houses, it's at its lowest. But when everything gets better, guess what? Everything goes up in price,
yeah,
and that's when you want to flip, and that's how you build wealth. You
yeah,
buy, you flip, you buy, you flip. From one property, you can own multiple. But if all you want is just a home for your family, just to enjoy and call your own, without worrying about landlord needing to sell in a year and all, whichever way, we're here to support you. So, yeah, I'm not sure if
put your thing in the chat. What is it again? So let me
Mhm.
Kafayat.com.
So I'm on Instagram as Realtor Kafayat at Realtor Kafayat. Pretty much all social media platform, Realtor Kafayat. My website is www.kafayatrealestate.com.
Okay.
Yes, and my phone number is on there. They can reach out to me, contact me. But if you're not able to buy in the next month, 2 months, 3 months, it doesn't matter. We map out a plan. It could be a year from now, but we're not here to rush people into making a commitment. We work with you. We work with your timeline,
Yeah.
and yeah, you are in good hands. That's all I can say. As long as you like you said, we don't want a client that is very difficult because we know what we're doing. We're open to questions, but we have to show respect to each other with respect based on our time. And we'll have a quick call, like I said, consultation call to understand if we're a good match, and we can help you from there. So
Exactly.
yeah, reach out.
Reach out. Okay,
Reach
that's
out.
fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, conversations like this, Fire Nation, remind us that entrepreneurship isn't always about flashy success stories. It's about discipline,
Mhm.
patience, and the willingness to learn an industry deeply. Real estate is one of the few industries where knowledge, relationships, and trust can literally shape people's futures. The
Yes.
right guidance can help someone secure their first home, build wealth through property, and create stability for their family. What we heard tonight from Kafayat is that the reality, the reality behind that journey, starting from personal experience, developing expertise, building trust with our clients, and continuing to grow in a constantly changing market. Fire Nation, whether you're building a business, considering a real estate, or pursuing your own entrepreneurial path, remember this: opportunity favors those who are willing to study the
Mm-hmm.
craft.
Yes.
You have to be willing to study the craft, you have to be willing to serve the people, and you have to be willing to stay committed even when the path isn't easy. And that is what building something meaningful truly looks like. Kafayat, thank you so much for being here. It was an honor, it was a pleasure, it was a privilege. We've been talking, we've been communicating,
Yes.
but we weren't able to make this happen. But nothing happens before its time.
Yes.
And I really appreciate the sharing of your time and your energy and your knowledge with my Fire Nation community. And you're welcome back here anytime. Is there
No
anything you'd
problem.
like to leave us with? To go,
Thank you.
is there
Thank you so much.
any
And
closing thoughts? Any closing thoughts you want to leave us with? Fire Nation.
no, just if anyone has a question of any sort regarding real estate or even matching them with different professionals in the industry, they can always reach out. I'm happy to help.
Yeah,
Everyone's win is a win for the community. So
that's right. That's right,
yeah,
Kafayat. That's right. I like that. I like that. Bless up yourself, Kafayat, and thank you for being here. And my sister, I will send people to you, and I really like the way you do your thing. Bless
thank
you.
you so much. Thank you for having me, Miss Julie, and thanks for your patience.
No
You're the
worries.
best.
Always. Listen,
You're awesome.
I always tell people that patience is one of my best virtues. I have a lot of virtues, but patience
Oh,
is one of my most developed virtues. But you know why?
yeah.
Because it has been the virtue that has helped me the most in life.
That's good. I hope we get to meet one on one. We need to
Yeah,
set that up.
we will.
Okay?
We
All
will.
right.
Definitely. Bye
Sounds
bye.
good. All right. Bye bye. Have a good Sunday, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
All right, Fire Nation. Thanks for being here. For everybody that tuned in. Dean Marshall, Miss Jacobs, bless up yourself. Dean Marshall, thanks for being here. Miss Jacobs, bless up yourself. Imhotep, of course, my dear. Thanks for being here. Miss and Lion King South, I big you up. Yep. Good to hear you guys. Good to see you guys. So yeah. She had a tight schedule. We made it work. Because as you saw, whenever you see me reschedule things, it's not by accident, eh? It's not because I don't know. It's because of the fact that sometimes things have to move. You have to move around, right? So when somebody can't make it, you have to reschedule and then you have to make something else appear for that week. That's just the way it is. But you have to stay flexible because life happens. Life happens to me. You have to give the grace that you're given, to be honest, right? So, best of yourself, Fire Nation. Thanks for being here. Thanks for taking an interest. I'm gonna bring more interviews like this to you from what you guys are interested in. All right. You guys continue to think well, and I want you to have a productive and a safe week and a good week. You deserve good weeks, Fire Nation. The fact that you're here, you deserve good weeks. Okay, don't forget that. So go for a walk, do something nice for yourself this week. Blessings and thanks for being here. Bye. I'm Miss Bluefire, always taking you higher. Bye. Fire Nation, listen to me. You don't log off and go back to playing small. You take what you learned and you execute. This is why Fire Nation exists. To rise higher, to build smarter, and to change the financial future of our families. I'm Miss Julia, A.K.A. Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher. And wherever you go next, you carry our fire with you. Fire Nation, we rise, we build, and we're just getting started.